Welcome to the Unicorn Show, educating you to achieve financial freedom, entertaining you with music.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Unicorn Show. Unicorn Show is a investment and music program that myself started a while ago, where I invite listed company bosses and as emerging companies that we interview and seek their views on the prospect of their companies and industry. And we hope to find some unicorn, which are animals, financial animals with a market cap of $1 billion and above. So today, I'm very pleased to have my co-host with me, Sophia Ng.
Hi everyone, I'm Sophia and I am the music side of Alan's show. I am a musician, I am a vocalist and a cellist, a teacher and a performer. So I know nothing about investments until today.
Actually, Sophia is a member of my band and she sings and she played the cello. But today I asked her to come out and do this show with me as a co-host. So to give her some exposure to the financial industry and musician sometimes need to explore new things as well, right?
Of course.
Cari makan.
Cari makan, huh?
Very important.
Today I'm very happy to have our sponsor, Federal International Holdings Berhad, and its Executive Director, Datuk Choy, who is here today, where we want to find out. I'm sure there are a lot of investors here, my friends, who are maybe already invested or haven't invested in Federal International. Recently, I think today they just announced a piece of very encouraging financial results, and today I'd like to find out more about the Federal International. So basically, Federal International has some investment into the renewable energy sector over the last 1 year, and maybe Dr. Choy, can I ask what is the focus now of Federal International, and would you actually invest in the RE sector in a bigger way?
So for Federal Furniture, we started
Federal International.
Yes. We started off as Federal Furniture for many, many years, and the Choy family is known in the furniture business. But in the last 20 years, in fact, more closer to 30, the family has invested in real estate, right? So what happened is a couple of significant changes. The makeup of the revenue for Federal, which now is renamed Federal International, is mostly in construction. Okay, so the furniture business is about 20 million, which is about 10% of our turnover. So today, the main business would be in construction, right? And 10% comes from furniture. But interestingly enough, we have also looked into renewable energy, right? And we have taken significant stakes in Sunview, and that's our foray into the renewable energy area as an investor. Now, in terms of the pipeline for construction, it's already a given because riding on the Masteron Group, which launch a number of projects a year, there's an assured pipeline of projects in construction. So future growth, I think, will come from both construction, furniture, as well as renewables. Yeah.
Okay, maybe Sophia, I'd like to add something to ask Dr. Choy about his construction side.
So is the construction side the division that is earning the most for the company, would you say? Or is there other business divisions that would be like the main earnings contributor to FIHB?
Currently, construction is the main factor. Like I said, it's about 90% of the revenue, right? And there's a book order about 318 million of secured contracts. Now, these are contracts passed to Federal by the controlling shareholders. So the order is already there. It's a question of executing it, right? So long as construction and property development thrives in Malaysia, So that part of the business will be doing well.
Last year, FIHB made a core PAT of 7.1 million ringgit. And what is your expectation for the results in FY 2023?
Okay, I think today is after 5 p.m., right?
You just released your latest
We just released
result.
our second quarterly result. Generally, we have made about 7 million PAT a year, right? So I believe we will maintain, if not increase that. So there's a very clear PAT of 7 million a year. But more importantly, I think where is the growth coming from, right? So with renewables, we have invested in 2 solar farms, one in Sandakan, one in Kunak. And I think further growth will come from those areas, right?
Yes, and you are sitting also on substantial gain in your investment in Sunview. Any idea what you're going to do with that?
Right now, I think we did very, very well in Sunview. I don't know whether anybody here is a Sunview shareholder. The founder is here, so he must be smiling, right? So at the investment level, our cost into Sunview was at 28 cents, right? So today Sunview is trading at, I think, 80 cents, right? So in terms of a paper gain, we are at least 2x, right? Which is a very decent gain. So we are encouraged by that, and we want to do more.
Okay, back to your original core manufacturing sector. Starbucks has been your major clients, and previously you supplied them in the Asia Pacific region. And during the pandemic, I saw your orders has been down significantly. So now post-pandemic, any changes? I need to hope that this division may actually catch up. And what are the future expectations?
Okay, I just want to give some clarity to the Starbucks business, yeah? The Starbucks business only occupies 10% of our turnover, number one, right? But we have been supplying Starbucks as the Asian Pacific sole supplier for 17 countries for close to 20 years. So Alan, if there's a fire in our factory, right, you can't drink cappuccino, huh? Right? So before the pandemic, we were fitting out about 500 stores, 400 to 500 stores of Starbucks a year in Asia Pacific. That's 17 countries from Japan, South Korea, Hong Kong, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, all the way to Australia. Okay? We do not supply China. Okay? So significant changes happened during COVID, yeah? Because of the increase in freight rates, which I think went more than 5 or 6 times. Now conditions have changed, right? But for us, we think the Starbucks business is there. We will continue to grow it because we have rights to, we supply Starbucks India. Now, India has over 1 billion population, and the store growth in India will be phenomenal. Okay, so we expect that we will work together with them, hopefully, to get all the orders from the Indian subcontinent. So that part of the business, though affected severely by COVID, right? I think it will come back, right? Yeah.
Okay. And I guess our last question for you is what are the challenges that FIHB is currently facing? What are the bigger ones? Is it like price of raw materials or labor or anything in that aspect?
Okay. There are challenges that goes across industry, right? So because construction is 90% of the revenue, manufacturing is 10%. So let's talk about raw materials, right? So raw materials cut across industry. So post-COVID, most factories or construction companies will be faced with increased raw material costs. Unfortunately, we just have to face it, right? So raw material price increase is a given. So for all those who have not bought property, price will continue to go up. It will not come down. Okay, so the same thing goes for manufacturing. If you have a table, a chair, coffee counter, price will continue to go up. Our inflation, global inflation is so high, it will not come down. So we cannot manage the inflationary aspect of that. Okay, so raw materials will only go up, costs will only go up. The other challenges is labor. Okay, so manufacturing and construction is very labor intensive. So that part we rely on government policy, which has just relaxed its policy to bring in foreign labor post-COVID. So I think on that score, it will be more relaxed. But post-COVID, the landscape has changed, right? Whereby we cannot rely on low value added industry. So if you drink a latte at Starbucks, it may cost you, I don't know how much, 17 ringgit, 20 ringgit. Still got a bit of margin to make money lah. But if you drink a kopi o in a coffee shop, which now costs 2 ringgit 80, maybe your margin will be squeezed. So this is just a very simple example of how I think Malaysian industry must move upwards, right? In terms of being challenged by cost, government policy, and labor shortages. We have to move up the value chain. So hopefully with FIHB, we can overcome those issues. Yeah.
Okay, I think that brings to the end of the first session of our Unicorn Show this episode. And normally, in all my Unicorn Show, I'll make my guests to sing. So this is the uniqueness of this Unicorn Show, you see. And because of that, I also have to sing. So today, I think I'm going to start the ball rolling, followed by Datuk Choy's solo. And then we'll come back for the second session. So this is the first session. Welcome to the first music break of the Unicorn Show. Today, I'd like to apologize because my voice a little bit not so good today, because a few days ago, we had the rehearsal here and that I got a cold. And today, I can't really speak properly, so I don't know if I can sing properly. But anyway, today I'm going to challenge something. This is the first time I'm going to try a Malay song. Okay? So I'll let you guess what's the song name, but it's maybe a long time ago. Kau pertama mencuri hatiku, kau membawa cahaya untukku. Kau tertawa gayamu yang manja, kau terharu budimu yang mesra. Saat mula ku tatap wajahmu, ku lihat sinaran matamu. Saat mula ku sentuh hatimu, kau mengerti cintaku padamu. Oh, gadisku, kaulah penawar gadisku, penggoda hati gadisku. Pujaan di kalu kasih selalu ku rindu. Ku ciptakan maligai untukmu, ku alunkan senandung laguku, ku jalin cimaku yang satu, ku membelai jiwamu yang sepi. Gadisku, pujaan hati gadisku, penawar hati gadisku. Kalau diberi kasih selalu gadisku, pujaan hati gadisku, penawar kalbu gadisku. Hadirlah di kala rindu, pelayan cinta. Ku ciptakan maligai untukmu, ku alunkan senandung laguku, ku jalinkan cintamu yang satu, ku membelai jiwamu yang sepi. Gadisku, pujaan hati gadisku, pelawak kalbu gadisku. hadirlah di kala rindu. Gadisku, pujaan hati gadisku, penawar kalbu gadisku, hadirlah di kala rindu, belayan cinta. Thank you. Okay, first time Malay song. There's a Datuk Anwar. Mana? Boleh? Boleh tahan? Okay lah, 7 point. 6.
So I'm going to sing this song called You to Me Are Everything, right? Take the stars off the sky for you. Stop the rain from falling if you ask me to. I'd do anything for you. Your wish is my command. I could move a mountain when your hand is in my hand. Words cannot express how much you mean to me. There must be some other way to make you see. If it takes my heart and soul, you know I pay the price. Everything I possess, I gladly sacrifice. Oh, you to me are everything, the sweetest song that I can sing. Oh, baby, oh, baby. To you, I guess I'm just a clown who picks you up each time you're down. Oh, baby, oh, baby. You give me a taste of love to build my hopes upon. You know you got the power, girl, to keep me holding on. So now you get the best of me. Come on and take the rest of me, oh baby. Though you're close to me, we seem so far apart. Maybe given time you'll have a change of heart. If it takes forever, girl, then I'm prepared to wait. The day you give your love to me won't be the day too late. Oh, you to me are everything. Say the song that I can sing. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I guess I'm just a clown who picks you up each time you're down. Oh, baby, oh, baby. You give us a taste of love to build my hopes upon. You know you got the power, girl, to keep me holding on. So now you get the best of me. Come on and take the rest of me, oh, baby. A song that I can sing, oh baby, oh baby. You to me are every day, the sweetest song that I can sing, oh baby, oh baby. You to me are everything, the sweetest song that I can sing, oh baby, oh baby. You to me are everything, the sweetest song that I could sing, oh baby, oh baby. You to me. I think I missed the last chorus because no voice already. Okay, Alan. Okay, dah. Boleh ya? Boleh ya? Okay, right. Not enough wine. Normally we sing after a lot of wine. 9 now. Okay, thank you.
Welcome back to the Unicorn Show. This is the second session of today's episode. And we are pleased to invite, this is our old guest, Mr. Ong Han Ping.
Hello.
From Sunview Group. He's actually the first person who actually appeared in Unicorn Show, the first one. And right now, because the time the Sunview has not been listed. So now the company has been listed on the stock exchange, Bursa Malaysia. And because there are some collaboration with today's main sponsor, FIHP, so we brought him in back today and asked him for some updates of the company. And basically, of course, we read from the news recently that Sunview has signed an MOU with China Huawei on collaboration in the renewable energy RE sector and specifically the electrical vehicle charging and whatnot. So can you elaborate a bit more on that?
Hello, good evening. By the way, we just thank you so much for these sections. Actually, I'm coming the first one for the first episode, but then I got a chance to come in again. So hopefully I'm not the last one, so that this episode will keep on going. Okay. All right. Actually, the past latest activity that we did is actually the signing of MOU with Huawei. As you can see from the content of the MOU, actually it's not really specific collaboration on which industry or which products that we're going on, but it's actually because there's a few things that we incorporate with Huawei in terms of the technology developments, not only for the EV chargings, but we also developments for certain monitorings and billing systems. Yeah, so because at the end of the day, for us to jump in, as you can see, actually there's quite a lot of listed companies start from last year already trying to venture into electric vehicles or even the charging system, all these things. But for us, we think that one is not really our market. And we want to really go and venture certain market that can give a wow effect to the public. So that's why we take this chance to collaborate with Huawei to develop more things so that it can incorporate with the EV chargings. Then only we will release out to the public. Yeah.
Okay, good update.
Okay. Then what is Sunview's focus on the solar sector? Perhaps you can share the ratio between residential, commercial, and large-scale power solutions with us, and also which one gives a higher margin?
Okay, at this moment, Sunview is not really focusing into residentials. So I would say that the percentage of residential is negligible at this moment. So what we focus is on rooftop and the large-scale solar. So I categorize the rooftop as a commercial and industrial. And then large-scale solar farm, we call it ground-mounted. So at this moment, due to the contract value of the solar power plant will be much more higher compared to rooftop projects. So let's say in terms of the quantity of the project, then definitely C&I, the commercial industry, will be much more bigger. But let's say in terms of megawatt or either the contract value, then yes, for the solar farm, it will take almost 90%. Yes. But then in terms of the profit margin wise, there's no specific profit margin that which category actually giving you a very good margin, but it's actually subject to the site condition and whatever others concern and factor. So by end of the day, the margin will be in between 6 to 8% PAT. Yeah.
Okay, recently you have made an announcement that you have ventured into biogas. Basically, if I'm not mistaken, you're actually investing in a biogas plant. Are you going to be involved in owning more of these assets or going to be a contractor in this area?
Okay, now we're actually changing a little bit on our business model. No matter how, we focus the four main business segment, which is the EPCC, the main contractings, but then we also do the investment for the asset ownership. So we want to combine these two into every single project. So that's why for the biogas, it's because end of the day, there's our second diversification into the renewable energy resources. So it's also aligned with what we promised in the prospectus. So what we say is actually in 24 months after listings, we want to venture into the bioenergy industry. So, but in less than 6 months, we already did it. So this is what I want to portray and deliver the message to the public that what we promise, and we will honor our promise lah. So that's why this is the first deal. So that's why we only take 20% of the equity parts. Then end of the day, we will do the EPC for the projects. Yeah. So and then continuously there will be more and more biogas and biomass project will be coming in.
Okay.
Dr. Choy has also mentioned just now about the price of raw materials. Do you think the peak has passed for the price of raw materials, and how does that affect your bottom line?
By the way, thanks to FIHB also by promoting us and also investing into Sunview. Okay, yes, definitely the raw material price, especially during the pandemic periods, the timing is actually considered quite high, but it's already dropped to almost 20% from the peak. Okay, 20%. Then depends on what kind of raw materials. But in terms of the furniture one in FIHB, that one is not my forte. But in terms of solar RE industry, for me, the next 2-3 months, it will be a slightly increase in terms of raw material. It's all because of the supply and demand actually. But then in the long run, definitely it's in the downtrend. So it's actually good for the solar industry and solar player like us. Yeah.
Okay, what is your current order book, and what is the share of the market currently? Maybe your success rate in tendering and things like that?
Okay, at this moment, we do have an unbilled book order at 687 million at this moment. And this will be going to consume by this year, up to December. Yes. And then recently, we do prepare to submit actually for the new contracts. We actually bid almost around 600 million worth of projects for the coming policy, which is going to be submitted by this month, 20th of this month. And then the one is called virtual power plants. So this is what we're going to submit for these projects. And then in terms of the securing rate, I believe based on our previous technicals, background and all these things, right? I strongly believe that we are having a chance to win certain deals quota from this policy.
Okay.
And our final question is Sunview moving towards the direction of moving up the value chain to construct, own, maintain, and operate solar projects? And any plans to venture outside of Malaysia?
What you mean is like asset ownership kind of things? Yes, definitely. Because at this moment, we already own almost 7.7 megawatts of projects. But the one is more to rooftop projects. Then continuously, I will double up on this investment for rooftop projects. But it's actually a different category. We will invest in the rooftop project, double up from the 7.7 to maybe 15 megawatts. But in terms of like solar farm, yes, because now we switch our business model. Is like end of the day, I will own it. Then I will do the EPCC projects so that we have more so-called saying power in terms of the pricing, and also we can transfer more, not transfer risk lah. It's like sharing the risk to everyone so that we can increase also on our profit margins. So in the coming virtual power plant submissions, we actually submitting as an equity holder and also act as an EPC player also. Yeah.
Best of both worlds. Anyway, this also brings to the end of the second session of the interview for this Unicorn show, and we'll break for the second music break.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this is the start of the second music break, and I've chosen a song by Whitney Houston called I Have Nothing. Hope you'll enjoy it. Share my life, take me for what I am. everything that you do. I don't really need to look very much further. I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I won't hold it back again. This passion tight can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide. Well, don't make me close one more door. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Stay in my arms if you dare. Or must I imagine you there? Don't walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing, nothing if I don't have you. You, you, you see through, right through the part of me. You break down my walls with the strength of your love. Ooh, I never knew love like I've known it with you. Well, a memory survive, oh, one I can hold on to. I don't really need to look very much further. I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I won't hold it back again. This passion inside can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide. Your love I'll remember forever. Well, don't make me close one more door. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Stay in my arms if you dare. Or must I imagine you there? Don't walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing, nothing. Don't make me close one more door. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Stay in my arms if you dare. Or must I imagine you there? Don't walk away from me. No, don't walk away from me. Don't you dare walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing, nothing if I don't have you. You, you, you. Ah, Thank you. I have nothing. And special thanks again to Alan for having me here tonight. And we shall invite Datuk Choy back up here. Not letting him off the hook so easily tonight. Okay, we're gonna do one song by Starship that I think everyone would know, right?
Those born in the 80s will know.
Ah.
I'm not sure about those born in the 90s and 2000s. Yeah. Right.
Feel free to sing along.
in your eyes, I see a paradise. This world that I found is too good to be true. Standing here beside you, want so much to give you. This love is in my heart, that's our feeling for you.
Let them say we're crazy, I don't care about that. Put your hand in my hand, baby, don't ever look back. Let the world around us just fall apart. Baby, we can make it if we're heart to heart.
And we can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
And if this world
Runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now. I'm so glad I found you. I'm not gonna lose you. Whatever it takes, I will stay here with you. Take it on a good time, see it through the bad times. Whatever it takes is what I'm gonna do.
Let them say we're crazy, what do they know? Put your arms around me, baby, don't ever let go. Let the world around us just fall apart. Baby, we can make it if we're heart to heart.
And we can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And if this world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us.
Stop us. Ooh, all that I need is you.
All that I ever need, all that I wanted to do.
Hold you forever and ever and build this
We can build this thing together, standing strong forever now.
And if this world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other.
Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us.
Build this dream
Together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
And if this world runs
Out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us.
nothing's gonna
Stop us now.
I'm gonna sing something I'm more comfortable with, Chinese songs, a Cantonese song. Actually, is called "Tomorrow Has to Continue," because wherever we are, tomorrow we have to fight another day.
What's the song title?
明天仍要繼續。Okay. Apparently, they have some disagreement on the pace of the song. Never mind, it's okay. I can 繼續啦，明天要繼續。沒有去試過，怎知他錯？就算我錯了，亦必須繼續。痛苦時有眼淚去中和。沒有去愛過，怎知他美？沒有你愛我，問怎可脫俗？哪管他世界未燃亮我。多奢侈的夢，一朝醒覺時盡變空。你看我時沒有淚容，愁懷懸在半空。明天縱多苦痛，命運繼續來，一 點不放鬆。明天冷風吹送，面上有熱情仍流過。沒有去愛過，怎知他美？沒有你愛我，問怎可脫俗？哪管他世界未燃亮我，多奢侈的夢，一朝醒覺時盡變空。你看我時沒有淚容，愁懷懸在半空。明天總多苦痛，命運繼續來，一點不放鬆。明天冷風吹送，面上有熱情仍流過。明天總多苦痛，命運繼續來，一點不放鬆。明天冷風吹送，面上有熱情仍自我。Thank you. Thank you. This is a song from a TVB series. Basically, you have to fight for tomorrow. Okay. Okay, so this brings to the end of the second music break. We'll break for a while and come back with the third session. Welcome back to the third session of this Unicorn show. After hearing from the bosses of two public listed companies, now I want to invite somebody who are actually an investment relation practitioner, Mr. Jason Fong. And he's been around in the industry for a while. And we just want to find out from a perspective of an IR practitioner how to look at this investment strategy for retail and institutional, and what is your view on the industries that FIHB and Sunview in?
Okay, thanks Alan for inviting. So as an IR practitioner, right, so I have a different perspective in comparison to the companies, because companies, they are doing business, but people from the capital market, they are very cruel and they are very realistic. So we have to follow the money, where the money is flowing into in order to gain. Because as an investor, you are looking for only two things, capital appreciation or dividend yield. So coming from that background itself, I would have a different perspective when it comes to businesses. And hearing from Sunview and also FIB just now, I can assure the investors that they are in the right direction in terms of what the investors, especially on the institutional, either local or foreigners or foreign funds, what they are looking at. Why? For FIHB itself, right, we can see that they have turned around and making a comeback post-pandemic. Pandemic construction sector is badly affected, mainly due to the MCO, the labor, or the stop of the movement of the labor, etc. And then also the rising of raw materials last year. So this year we can see things are returning to the back, to the normal. And also in terms of FIHB, I think they just released the result 1.8 million. So definitely this year, by maintaining momentum, we can see a double-digit growth, but it's on a low-teen level of the profits, and this is very commendable. That is on the construction side. And then also one point that I would like to add is that their construction, right, their projects mainly get from their sister company called Masteron, not the Masteron Holdings. So Masteron is a very, very old developer with more than 40 years of track record, especially they are the forte in the Puchong area. So the good thing about this is that you don't have the collection risk because you are getting the contract from your sister company who has a strong track record in Puchong area. So if you can sell and then you can construct, then the collection risk would be very much mitigated. So this is on the construction division. On the manufacturing, which Datuk Choy just now mentioned, the Starbucks India definitely is a catalyst because they actually plan to have 1,000 stores by 2028, but that one was delayed due to the MCO. So now things are picking up. And then at one point you have a lot of strong order. Another point is that they have reallocated their resources. They close down their factory, and then also optimization of the resources. So you have huge order, and then you have reduced cost, then your margin will come up. And the third, of course, which is also very important, is the renewable energy angle. Because from what we know from the Insti is that this trend is coming. Everyone know that ESG is very important. Everyone thought a lot of hoo-ha, but how does it going to impact and monetize in the capital market is not really reflected yet. But there will come a time, and I believe the time is very, very near now. Foreign funds, they need to have exposure in ESG related company. So this one would bode very well to attract the foreign funds, which Malaysia, we need it very, very badly. On the FIV side, I mean, I can't speak too much on the companies on behalf, but I can see that they are moving up as the asset owner in terms of the RE agenda. And of course, the government policy, which everyone know, 20, 35, 40%, blah, 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 all those kind of things. So, an institutional investor, they are looking for earnings stability, not only about catalyst itself. So for earnings visibility, what do you need? You need recurring income. That's why I think that they are venturing into biomass, right?
Biogas, the first
Biogas.
one. Yeah.
Biogas, right, is very good because it's 24 hours. They are not like the solar, whereby in Malaysia, I think 5 or 6 hours maximum.
4.5 only lah.
Okay
They calculate.
Okay lah. Okay, so biogas is a good because you have a steady, even though the capex will be more expensive. So this is how I see the two companies in the right directions.
Sophia, you want to ask something?
Okay, our next question is in terms of valuation, how would the investors put a gauge on its right valuation, and what are the factors that determine the right valuation of a company?
I think valuation, right, is a magic number everyone will have in their mind. But if you ask me, right, besides the hard numbers like the financial result, income statement, balance sheet that everyone knows, right, it's very much both on the management itself. Like for example, Sunview, we have a very young, aggressive management team. I can see from his LinkedIn, fly here, fly there every day looking for business opportunities. So with this kind of management, we are able to give a higher valuation because we know the growth is not at the peak yet. So, and when it comes to FIHP, it's more on their track record in terms of the construction, the manufacturing. So with this kind of company, we know it's more stable. So when it's stable, we can sleep soundly when we put the money in that company. This is how I always say.
Okay, what is your outlook on the construction sector in Malaysia this year? Actually, we realized that last 2 years, the industry has been suffered due to lack of labor and all these MCO closed down, whatever. Now it seems that everything back to normal, but there are still a lot of companies in the construction sector, they are making losses. What do you think?
I think those construction companies, they are making losses, right? Mainly because when they bid or tender for a project, they factor in the X amount of cost based on maybe 2 years ago, before the rising of the raw materials due to the geopolitical risk, everything. So for the projects that they are tendering now, right, as long as there is a stability in terms of the cost, then you can easily factor in your margin and you bid accordingly. So if you ask me, construction sector, definitely the worst is over. And the very good point is that we have 1.4 million foreign workers came in December. That one is a very strong indication that once we're able to get the labours in, then we can get the job done. And the new government seems like also moving towards this direction.
So our last question is, from your perspective, how do you view the RE sector in like the next 2 years?
RE, I would think that the government would be one of the major push of it. So we can see the Green Tech Fund that announced recently in the budget, and then also the national agenda. So the most important thing for solar is that how much tax assistance or exemption that they can give. For example, like you import a solar panel, if you give more tax incentive, that's where you can reduce your raw materials. Because solar labor is not the main cost, it's the solar panel, which is the polysilicon or something like that. I'm not too sure of the technical jargon. But things seems like move past the worst. Even the geopolitical side, even the war, I think I even sort of like get used to it already. So it's getting brighter at the end of the tunnel. That's what I see.
Okay, thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
This also draws to the end of this episode 4 of the Unicorn Show. I'd like to thank all of you who made yourself here today. and also the sponsors tonight, FIHP, and our guests, Mr. Ong from Sunview and Jason.
Thank you.
Hope to see you again in the next episode, hopefully soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.